I begin, can you guys take a look around for a second? Okay, for sure, you must have noticed that our class is full of women, and as a woman, we could all relate to each other, right?
Yes.
Okay, we get how exhausting it is to be to do things by ourselves and to be pushed around just because we are girls and not boys. Now, I want you to imagine this. You have just given birth and you have a baby, and then you are still healing, and suddenly everything revolves around feeding, pampering, preparing, changing, and soothing a tiny human being. Your partner is too busy to help, and no one checks in on you. You are exhausted. You feel tired. You cry easily. You feel alone. Do you know what you are feeling? No, right? So it is called postpartum depression. According to Malaysian Ministry of Health, postpartum depression is a mood disorder that causes prolonged sadness, fatigue, lack of energy, irritability, and a loss of interest in daily activities, often triggered after giving birth. We are taught that mother must be a superhero, must be a Wonder Woman, where a mother must juggling a baby, doing house chores, and still smiling through it all. But in reality, that is not simple as that. And that brings us to today's thesis that lack of support, both emotional and practical, is a leading cause of postpartum depression. I am Haida, and I will be persuading you on why emotional support is important for new mothers.
And I am Natasha, and I will be convincing you on why practical physical support is equally just as essential.
So let me ask you, have you ever wanted someone to ask you if you are okay or not?
Yes.
Not to fix things, but just to listen, right?
Yes.
That's emotional support. And for new mothers, it can be the difference between coping and collapsing. According to medical news today, emotional support can help people to cope with their emotions and to show them that they are not alone. As we know, becoming a new mother is exciting but also a challenging journey. With sleepless nights and the many responsibility of caring for a newborn, the emotional roller coaster can be intense. That is why emotional support is very important for a new mothers. Take a look at the flyers we given to you. On the point talk. So talk is a simple thing. Simple things like starting a conversation or offering a listening ear can make a huge difference. That's what it takes. Just someone to say, I see you and I hear you. Now think about a mom who hasn't slept in days, overwhelmed by this new chapter of her life. What if someone just sat down next to her and said, "You are doing great. It's okay to feel like this. You as a mother will feel relief, right?"
Yes.
And beyond that, encourage her to connect with support groups. So these peer groups are a lifeline, where mother shares, mother can cry, mother can laugh with others who get it. They are not alone anymore. So let me ask you again, can you imagine being in her shoes but never hearing those reassuring words?
And here is another reality check. Emotional support is not the only thing new moms need. Sometimes they need someone to take the baby for a few minutes so they can take a proper shower, eat something warm, or get a few minutes of sleep. Hi. Now, raise your hand if you've ever helped babysit your nieces, nephews, or cousins for just a few hours. It's exhausting, right?
Yes.
Now, can you imagine doing that every single day, every night, while recovering from birth without help? It's crazy, right?
Yes.
That's what happens with moms who do not receive practical support. Practical support means helping in real, physical, hands-on ways like changing diapers, cooking, or even something as simple as holding the baby while the mom showers. And if you think this isn't common, well, here's a stat for you. 1 in 8 mothers in Malaysia suffer from postpartum depression. That's 12.5% out of the population. There is 29 people in our class, right? And that means like about 3 to 4 people here could suffer from postpartum depression one day. Please look at the visual aid we've given you. Under the consequence of no support will lead to emotional burnout, relationship strain, and delayed recovery. Research backs this up. According to a study by Manu Stephen Ekanyong and Mushida conducted in Asia, mothers who lacking physical support are significantly more likely to develop postpartum depression. And the World Health Organization also emphasizes that the first 6 weeks after giving birth is critical. Without help, that risk skyrockets. So yes, emotional support lifts the heart, but practical support, it helps mothers breathe. Now, I want all of us to reflect for a moment. Postpartum depression is real, and a lack of support, both emotional and practical, is one of the leading causes of postpartum depression. And too often, that support simply isn't there. This fact is painful, and it's happening to women around us silently. But here's the thing, we can do something about it. We can solve it. We can listen. We can show up. As women, and especially as future mothers, friends, and sisters, it is our role to create that support system we wish desperately for ourselves. There's an African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child. So how can we expect a single mother to single-handedly raise a baby all on their own? Let's stop normalizing burnout. Let's start normalizing support. Let's stop pretending that strength means silence. Let's stop normalizing expecting mothers to just deal with it. Support is not optional. It's essential. So I'm asking you to remember this speech not just as information, but as preparation. Support women, support mothers, because one day it could be you. Thank you.
What was it, Fatima?
7 minutes.
7 minutes, okay. 7 minutes, how many seconds?
75.
Oh, 75. 75?
75.
8 minutes, okay, 8 minutes. Okay. Alright, so let's go to the questions. Hazira, right? Can you ask the first question? You can choose.
In your opinion, why do you think many mothers are afraid or ashamed to speak about their postpartum struggles?
I think for your question, the mothers, the mothers can can speak up about her depression, because there are stigma that say that they should face it alone. They need to deal the things, the baby, and also their environment on themselves. It is answering your question. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay, another question. Ibtisam. Okay, you can ask a question to.
Okay,
you go to your mother's house, right? And it's not comfortable for the mother and she faces depression, right? Or she's alone at home, the husband is off, working, and when he comes back, he doesn't support her, right? The support doesn't come from where it should, right? Or in fact, family members themselves can be toxic, like mother-in-laws can say, oh, I raised 7 children, why can't you raise one? That kind of thing, right? And it also has to do with traditional practices, our own culture, that kind of thing. So in your opinion, both of you, what can we do? Because the stress actually comes from family members sometimes. Yeah, you can answer together, right? It's an opinion question.
In our opinion, if that is the case, when the family member is the one who is stressing the mothers out, it is great. It would be wonderful if the mothers went and seek help from other sources instead. For example, like going to therapy and seeking help from psychiatrists. This can help the mothers deal with their postpartum depression on a very professional way.
Yes, how about you, Maya?
For me, how the mothers deal with the toxic family. Maybe she can connect with support group, like she meet the new mothers who also face postpartum depression, where they can share, they can cry, they can laugh, and they can do everything they want they can do everything they want.
Like online support, like
yes, online
community.
Yeah, because sometimes the family just didn't get it. So you need to seek help from people. You need to relay and seek help from people who does get it.
Right. People outside the family.
Yeah.
Maybe even strangers. Okay, thank you